Okay, so that was bloody awful. You know, what I'm reminded of watching this movie is all those old sayings and scientific facts, nothing's free. Everybody's got a price. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, and so on down the line. And this movie, probably more than anything else, is an excellent example of that. I, like many people, if the box office is to be believed, am a big fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't think I'm shy about expressing that. They did something truly unique, or at least unique within the last couple of decades. It's not the first time something like this has happened, but it's the first time something like this has been planned, and you can tell there's a wide range of people working this out, and it's proven immensely successful. But the problem with that is that you are bound to attract imitators, especially in art and pop culture, but especially in Hollywood. Something works, something is proven successful, and other people are going to do it. There's more cases of this than I can remember. The ones that jump right to my head is, okay, so Harry Potter, its last film, they said, okay, the book is too much, it's too big, let's cut it in two. So you had Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2. And that worked. It works for that film. But then Twilight said, well, we're going to cut our last book into two. And then The Hunger Games said, well, we're going to cut our last book into two. And The Hobbit said, well, we're going to take this book and chop it into 3 movies. And, we've been getting these imitators for a while now, in the guise of the slow motion train wreck that has been the DC Cinematic Universe, with the train being backed up a bit now thanks to Wonder Woman, who restored some credibility to the whole thing. But I don't know what you call it, the Godzilla King Kong universe, since I guess all those movies are connected now. You've got M. Night Shyamalan trying to do his Shyamalaniverse. And then you had Universal's attempt, this thing, which was supposed to be a revitalization of the old Universal monster movies and creating their own cinematic universe. You can tell how much they put into this movie, because it even has the Dark Universe, as they call it, even has its own little logo after the Universal sign. It's so cute. They think this thing was going to be so popular that, of course, they were going to go into the next bunch of films. And it sucks, guys. It sucks. It's terrible. And I knew going into it was probably going to be bad. I was pretty prepared for that. But I was hoping that it was going to be bad, like in a fun way. This isn't a good movie, but it's fun. It's a fun watch for how stupid it is. No, it's just bad. And it's like, it literally is one of those movies where you look at it and like every choice is wrong. Everything is wrong. And it's a rare film that not only misses the point of the major franchise it's trying to rip off, it misses the point of the original franchise it's trying to rip off. For those who don't know, a little history lesson. So for those who don't know, Universal back in the 30s and 40s, what they were most known for, what their big money maker were monster movies. They owned all the big monsters, Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, the Mummy, the Invisible Man, the creature from the Black Lagoon. They owned them all. And through kind of an accident, the way they did it is, Dracula came out, it was a masterpiece and a huge success. Frankenstein came out, it was a masterpiece and a huge success, followed by The Bride of Frankenstein, which was a masterpiece and a huge success, and then The Wolfman. So you had all this, and then somebody said, hey, I've got a good idea. What happens if Frankenstein met the Wolfman? And suddenly all these films had a shared universe. You know, and through these movies and their multiple sequels, because they all had 4 or 5, sequels. You had, House of Frankenstein and House of Dracula and this one and that one. They got campier and campier as they went, mainly because the budgets were shrinking. But through this, you got kind of this is the first real cinematic universe. I mean, expanded so much so that, when Abbott and Costello met the various monsters, those films were considered canon. And like when they did Abbott and Costello Meet the Invisible Man, it was in line with the other Invisible Man films. So. But what made those movies great, and what makes a shared universe work, is you've got to offer us something we haven't seen before. You have to offer us something new and different. And this movie is just such a ripoff of everything else. You don't need to see this movie if you've seen any kind of horror movie or Tom Cruise movie within the last 10, 15 years, 20 maybe even. It's that shallow and devoid of originality. The special effects are awful. Tom Cruise is a terrible actor, folks. I'm sorry. And I'm not even worried about his personal life and all that. I don't care about Scientology. I don't give a damn about the joke that he's gay. It's like, I don't give a damn if he's gay. The fact of the matter is, he's a terrible actor. In all of his films, he has given one good performance, and that was Interview with a Vampire. And that was back when I was in high school, for God's sakes. He is awful. And what's worse is that he's already a terrible actor, but he's made it through the last couple years by just doing Tom Cruise, just playing Tom Cruise in every movie he's in. Well, now they've got him trying to play Chris Pratt. Trying to be the snarky, charming, rascal, scoundrel everyman. And he can't pull it off. It is terrible. And they also try to do the Tony Stark, Pepper Potts, thin man bantering, relationship with him and the piece of wood they have in to be his love interest, and there's no chemistry there. None. And she, I don't know her name, but not only is she awful, but I can. You want to get a? I'm going to save you all $8. You want to know what most of the film's dialogue is? Nick. I swear to God, by about 20 minutes in, I started playing a drinking game, and every time she said Nick, I took a swig of water, and I started when the bottle was up here. This is where it is at, by the end of the movie. I mean, if that was vodka, I'd be so drunk right now I couldn't drive. And so that's all terrible. Again, the movie wants that shared universe so much that we have Russell Nick Fury playing, Mr. Dr. Jekyll, Hulk, Mr. Hyde, Nick Fury. I mean, he's supposed to be like the Nick Fury character, supposedly going to tie all these movies together, and stupid. And I say the special effects are just ungodly terrible in this movie. I mean, you know what made the original Universal monster films great, and what made them classics, is that they were about mood and about atmosphere. They had amazing cinematography, great camera work. The special effects were groundbreaking for their time, and they were all practical, makeups and things. They had to be used sparingly. They didn't have the budget or the time, So therefore, those first big four that I mentioned, all had to be built more on subtlety, on mood, on atmosphere. That's what got them through. And to take what made that film series special, what made it groundbreaking and made it legendary. I mean, you don't realize this now, but the reason we know Dracula, Wolfman, Frankenstein, all those characters, the reason we know all of them is because of those movies. And I don't care if there have been other ones that in the past that are more, loyal to the book or whatever. Those are the monsters. Bela Lugosi is Dracula. Boris Karloff is Frankenstein. Lon Chaney Jr. is the Wolfman. I'm not saying nobody else can ever play those characters. What I'm saying is those are the archetypes. I'm trying to impress how important those films were and are. And to take this idea and say, okay, now we're going to try to do that extended universe again, now in 2017. Not the worst idea, not a great one. But to say we're going to do that, and the means you take to do that is to strip away everything that made those films revolutionary in their time, is, again, mind-blowing. I don't get what the logic is. So yeah, like I say, it's a movie that rips off everything. Its visual style, its music, all of it. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible movie. And, even being honest with myself, I don't know how you'd make a Universal Monster Cinematic Universe work in this day and age. What I would have done is, I would have started with a different movie. Because The Mummy is dragging along the baggage of the very enjoyable but not serious, very tongue-in-cheek Brendan Fraser movies from a couple, from almost 10, 15 years ago. I would have started with Creature from the Black Lagoon, which they've been talking about for years. Not that I want to see a remake of it, but if you're going to do this, start there, and don't do it as this big budget, big special effects blowout. Do like the original films were, a small picture, like an indie horror film, just with a bigger budget behind it, where you can really do a great job with the makeup and the costumes, and do makeup, do costumes. Use the computer to tweak things, but don't make it the be all and end all. Don't do the creature as an all CG or a motion capture, and then do that film, have that come out, and then leave us like Iron Man did with that little teaser of, oh wait, there's bigger things coming. One of the most obvious and terrible parts of this film is that they're taking Tom Cruise through their special Monster Hunter HQ, so basically S.H.I.E.L.D. for monsters. They take him through what Matt called the Easter egg room, where you walk through and there's all these jars of shit, and it's all basically saying, oh look, there's a skull with vampire fangs. Oh look, there's the creature from the Black Lagoon's arm. It's like, okay, going a little heavy here. So yeah, this movie is terrible. It's not terrible in a fun way. It's not terrible in an enjoyable way or a campy way. It's just awful. And, I felt like a doofus sitting there. But it is what it is. So I don't think I have to tell anybody to avoid this film. I think everybody else has done that. I've heard rumors that this film's response, both critically and at the box office, has been so poor that Universal's thinking of just scrapping this whole idea. And quite frankly, I think that's the best idea they've had, is just knock it off. Stop it. Why do you need to do it? Just because Marvel's doing it, that doesn't mean everybody has to. Maybe do your own thing. Or if you're going to do it better. Again, I don't know why Marvel seems to have cornered the market on this, because it seems like what they're doing that nobody else is planning. They've got this planned out and mapped out. They know how all of these things are going to connect. They've got it figured. Planning and quality control seem to be the two things that nobody else seems to be able to get a handle on. So, yeah. So, no surprise, another Tom Cruise film bombs and is stupid, because it's a stupid idea, stupid film, and he's a terrible actor. So that's it for me. I'm barely getting through this one because I've picked up one of my traditional Sunday headaches, and it is screaming right now. Like I probably should have waited to record this because my head feels like it's about to split open. I've still got another 5 minutes before I get home. But anyway, there it is. So yeah, avoid the mummy. So until next time, drive safe, and I'll see you at the movies.